So this book is actually a culmination of a distillation of what he's done in the podcast over the last 4 years. Unlike, books which are more like a thali, you have to start on page 1 and finish till the end. What he says is it's more like a buffet. So you get to pick and choose. He says you will like 50% of the book, you will love 25% of the book, and 10% of the book is going to transform your life. You will never forget it. And I actually think that's true. So what I'll share with you today is 2 or 3 things which to me stood out in terms of they alter the way you think and approach problems in the business world. The value of I don't understand. So Louis Von Ahn is this guy who's the CEO of Duolingo, which is this app which helps you learn languages. He's also the guy who invented CAPTCHA, those little figures you fill in online when you're on the internet, when you have to verify your identity. So his PhD scholar was an interesting guy, very bright of course, but every time this guy used to go and speak to him, he would turn back and say, I don't understand, please explain to me. So this person would try another approach of explaining his work, and the whole hour would pass and they wouldn't get past the one line, which is, I don't understand. And then he realized what he was trying to do was make him distill his ideas, because he still hadn't reached the ultimate. He didn't understand everything about the problem. Through the time, you walk in and you say, I don't understand, you kind of get to the bottom of problems. It's an interesting technique which you can apply to people who are trying to sell something to you. There are people who use these big words, big concepts. You just sit back, and even if you know the answer, you just sit back and say, I don't understand, can you explain it to me? So they'll go one level deeper. You go ahead, and finally you'll catch the lie. It'll either be true or not, but at some point you'll figure out. I use this also as an interviewing technique. So the second is that losers have goals and winners have systems. What happens most time is that we keep chasing small goals. This project has to happen, this happens. You can be very efficient, but yet not build something long term. So the idea here is that even if for the external world you're losing on a project, but if you're building 2 things, either skills or relationships, then that's the approach to take, right? And he gives his own example. He started blogging. And his wife was like, why are you wasting your time blogging? I mean, there's nothing in it for you. There's no financial benefit to it. He said, wait, I'm developing my writing skill. It's an important muscle to flex. Let me learn this. So he started blogging. Then Washington Post saw one of his blogs, which started getting popular. And they offered him a chance to write for them. And it was still not paid. It was free, freelancing. Those those articles got very famous. He got a book deal. And because he got the book deal, he started getting invited to this very, financially viable speaking tours. So it was a long game. It all started by developing his writing muscle. I'm trying something similar at this point in time. I started slowly blogging on LinkedIn myself. So it's something I tried in my own life. I got into Fortune and Forbes both, blogging on marketing, right? And now I'm still at that point in time. I go to conferences and speak. Again, freelancing at this point. But surely it's not too unreasonable to expect a book in the future and then speaking, because you're slowly moving up the train. It comes so naturally. So that's the approach you take in terms of having big goals, big systems which will help you not get short-sighted by tiny goals right now. Now this is a very path-breaking idea. The first 1,000 followers. So Kevin Kelly is this guy who started this magazine called Wired. He says that in marketing you keep thinking big. 10 million followers on YouTube, big budgets. He's quite counterintuitive. What he says is basically you take an idea, and if you can get to 1,000 people who will true followers, means imagine I open a cake shop. So you buy my cakes, yes, but then I come out with a mug. You'll buy the mug, the t-shirt, you will come, if there's a music cassette, you'll buy that too, because you'll buy everything about me. You were so bought into the concept of what I do. And he says 1,000 is the magic number, and there's an arithmetic calculation. He says once you prove an idea to a small minority, then the chances of it acting like a contagion or going viral are huge. And that's what even Scott Adams says, that if you have developed a new concept, you share it with 10 people who you trust. If they share it with others in turn, you have a winner on your hands. But if they don't, you need to go back to the drawing board and start again. So that's the power of small.